Good Erev Shabbos. Welcome to BJC Halacha A number 2140. Halacha A keeps the Yetzer Hara away, dedicated to the memory of Daniela Basfir Neshama Shabbat Aliyah. New chapter 118 in the 221 chapters of the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. The laws of preparing the Seder. Very appropriate for Pesach coming up. So we'll do the introduction today. On the first and second nights of Pesach, the 15th and 16th nights of the month of Nisan, in Eretz Yisrael, only on the first night. The 15th of Nisan, right? Only in Eretz Yisrael, they only keep one night. We conduct the Seder, celebrating the liberation of the Jews from their bondage in Egypt. We relate the story of the Exodus to the younger generation and instill in them an awareness of the miracles performed by Hashem for the Jewish people. We eat matzah as a reminder of the matzah we ate in Egypt and of our hurried departure from there. We eat maror, bitter herbs, as a reminder of our enslavement. We drink the 4 cups and recline to commemorate our liberation, 4 cups of wine. The Seder requires much preparation. The finest utensils are placed on the table, and cushions for reclining must be arranged. Wine must be prepared for the 4 cups. Various foods must be procured and prepared, and the Seder plate containing these food items must be arranged. These preparations entail numerous laws which Kitzur sets forth in the Siman, and you should know, of course, you have to clean, as we mentioned. You got to get rid of all the chametz before this. All right, let's start. One of the obligations of the Seder night is to drink 4 cups of wine. There's 4 expressions of freedom in the Torah. 1 cup at each of the 4 designated points during the Seder. See below chapter 119, Halacha 10, for the particulars of this obligation. Here the Kitzur details which wine should be used for this obligation. One should endeavor to obtain fine wine for the mitzvah of the 4 cups. Now he's going to go into the fact that it should be uncooked ideally, and red wine over white wine. Sometimes we lived in a place where they accused us of spilling non-Jewish blood. So in those cases, white wine, but nowadays we're going to have the red wine, uncooked. That's the idea. But it should really be wine that you can drink and enjoy. Fine. And if red wine is available, which is as fine wine, which is as fine as the white wine, and also is as kosher as the white, it is a mitzvah to use it rather than the white, as the verse states in Mishlei, do not set your sight upon wine that is red. I do not overindulge in wine. It is indicated from the fact that the verse makes mention of the wine as being desirable because it is red, that it is a sign of distinction of a wine when it is red. Additionally, red wine is preferable, being that it serves as a remembrance of the blood that Pharaoh spilled when he slaughtered Jewish children. But, as I mentioned earlier, in countries where the nations are so nonsensical and foolish as to devise false accusations, the Jewish communities refrain from using red wine on Pesach. But in general, that's what you should do. You should have red wine these days. Let's see any more commentary that's worth doing here. Let's do real quick. The Midrash relates that Pharaoh took ill with leprosy and would bathe in the blood of Jewish children to heal himself. That's why we should have red wine. Also, this is a reference to the infamous blood libels, where Jews would be accused of slaughtering non-Jewish children to obtain their blood for use at the Pesach Seder or in baking matzahs. Since bottles of red wine were claimed by the accusers to actually contain blood, red wine was avoided in those places. But again, nowadays, no problem, drink the red wine. Okay, have a wonderful day, have a good Shabbos. To sponsor Future Halacha 36, 100 of the gold.